What's the story, Morning Glory? What is up, Buttercup? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiancé, The Last Resort, Season 1, Episode 3, One Last Time. So we're back in the hot tub. Okay, so last week we had Kelly and Molly, Angela, Ed, and Liz are all in this really tiny little hot tub. And as we all know, with these people, an argument started. So I can't really decipher exactly who said what, when, and where. It's just that somewhere along the lines, we understand that there was already tension between Kelly and Ed because when they were playing that game, the trust game, Ed cheated and Kelly called him out for cheating and Ed called him a bitch. And so Kelly said, "You got one more time to call me that." So they're in the hot tub now, and Kelly wanted to address Ed calling him that bitch. So Ed don't give a damn because he's here for camera time. He thinks he knows what makes good TV. So at some point he ends up calling Kelly that name again. And I thought Kelly was going to throw down because he's a Brooklyn cop, he's big and tough. I thought he was going to like body slam Ed and underneath the water. I just thought it was going to go down, but it didn't. Kelly just ends up getting out of the hot tub. Molly follows him out of the hot tub and they're walking back to their room. Now, it seemed like for a hot minute, Molly and Kelly were like unifying because of their dislike for Ed and because they were talking smack about Ed and all this and that. So it seems like they were finally getting along. They're finally on the same page about something. But it was very short-lived because Kelly had said something about, "Well, I'm always here for you, Molly, to protect you, and I'll always be there for you," or something like that. And Molly didn't believe it. She was like, "Well, I need to see it to believe it because that's not what I've been seeing lately." And so Kelly's like, "I've given up so much for you, Molly. I left, everything in New York to come be with you." And Molly said, "Just because you left to come live with me in Georgia doesn't mean that you're really fulfilling your responsibilities and obligations as my partner. You're not really stepping up to the plate. I don't really see it." She says that you're very complacent, which is a nice way to say lazy. She says you're very complacent. You're not motivated. What else does she say? She says that you're in this safe bubble. I guess what she means is you feel safe and protected because I'm the one paying all the bills and I'm the one taking care of you, and that he's not motivated to do anything. So now Kelly's upset. He's like, "You know what? I just give up. I give up." And he ends up walking away. And Molly didn't give a damn. Once again, Molly and Kelly, y'all are not married. Y'all are not even engaged. Y'all have no children together. If it's not working out, just break up. Just break up. And because y'all are not breaking up, it makes me think that y'all are on this show just for the check. This is ridiculous. If y'all are so miserable with one, Molly, go get you a man who is self-motivated and making a whole bunch of money and can take care of you. Kelly, go find you another woman who doesn't mind taking care of you. Why are y'all together and not happy? So back at the ranch, we're back at the hot tub. I don't know exactly what went down because now we have Angela, Liz, and Ed left in the hot tub. Like I said, I can't keep up with who said what. But at some point, somebody, let me try to remember. At some point, Angela was talking to Ed and she splashed water on him and some of the water got on Liz. Okay, but Liz didn't say anything at that time. So I'm not exactly sure exactly how things transpired, but at some point Liz got out of the hot tub. She was over it. Ed said something to her. She didn't like what he said or she ignored him or something. I don't know. So she's walking back towards her bungalow. Oh, she said something about, "Well, I don't want to get," I think Ed was like, "Oh, are you leaving already?" And I think Liz said, "Well, I don't want to get splashed with water anymore," referencing to when Angela had splashed Ed and some of the water got on her. So when Angela heard that, she was like, "But I didn't do it on purpose. I wasn't trying to splash you on purpose." And I think Liz was like very dismissive of Angela, like, "Okay, girl, whatever." So Angela didn't like that. So she gets out of the hot tub. She starts following Liz. They don't quite get to their room, but they're on their way to Liz's room. And Angela's right on her tail. And so Angela's talking all kinds of smack to her, telling her, "You're not going to ignore me. You're not going to walk away from me. You're not going to talk to me like that." She calls her every name in the book and she gets all up in Liz's face because Liz actually stopped to face Angela. And I was like, "Girl, you need to be like making a dash towards your room." So she actually stops and Angela's all up in her face. I mean, her nose and mouth are literally touching Liz's face. I mean, just that's how close proximity she was to Liz. I mean, their faces were literally touching. And so Ed is standing right there. And I'm like, I'm waiting for Ed to kind of like get in between Nope. He's just standing there watching. Someone from production had to come and like remove Angela from Liz. And at some point, Ed wanted to pretend like, he was really trying to protect Liz from Angela. So that whole thing was just a big fiasco. Moving on from there, we have Asuelu and Kalani. So Kalani tells Asuelu that she wants to really work on their relationship. She says she's going to give this one more chance. She's going to give this marriage one more chance. And she's willing to go as far as to block this other guy that she was communicating with and sleeping with. And Asuelu said, block and delete. And I don't know if she agreed to the delete part, but she definitely did block him. She even had Asuelu. I don't even know why. I don't even know why she had him do this, because she goes, do you want to watch me block him? And then when she put up the thing on her phone to block him, she actually tells Asuelu, you can hit the block button. And so he hits the block button and now the guy's blocked. I mean, it doesn't mean that in the middle of the night or when she goes to the bathroom, she can still unblock and, start texting the guy. But okay, fine. We'll fall for the illusion. So Asuelu was really, really happy that she did that. She blocked him on the phone, Asuelu. She didn't necessarily block him from her thoughts, her memories. I'm pretty sure her body still remembers him. So, don't get too ahead of yourself. So Asuelu is so excited. He asks her, can I give you a hug? And she was like, yeah. So then they hugged. Moving on from there, we have Jovi and Yara. So Yara wants to make it up to Jovi for what she revealed during group therapy, that she was on birth control this whole entire time. So my whole thing is about that is, so she was taking birth control so she wouldn't get pregnant by him, but she didn't tell him that she was taking the birth control. I wonder if Jovi was like wondering, is there something wrong? Like, how come you're not getting pregnant? I wonder if did they ever have a discussion about that? Was ever like, we've been at this for quite a while now. Mila is 2. I think she's almost 2 or something. How come you haven't gotten pregnant yet? I don't know. But so she wants to make it up to him for, blindsiding him with that information. So she has a really nice dinner set up for the two of them. So Jovi tells her that he is more upset about Yara bringing up that information in front of the whole entire group. Well, this was a group therapy session. And y'all are there to work on y'all's relationship. And this whole baby number 2 thing is kind of like one of the areas of contention for y'all. So why wouldn't she have brought it up in front of the group? But he was like, I don't want my personal business out there like that. So he really was upset that she had revealed the whole birth control thing in front of everybody. And Yara made it seem like she felt safer telling him in front of a group, because if it was just the two of them alone, he would have gotten really upset. Then they would have argued and who knows what could have happened. So she just did it because she knew that it was a safe space for her to tell him. And she's like, this is, we're here for therapy, and part of the therapy is group sessions, and so there's nothing really wrong for me to do that. Jovi keeps talking about this whole privacy thing, because in the beginning of the season he talked about how I'm a very private person, I don't want but you're on a reality TV show. Not only is it in front of a group, y'all are also in front of a camera filming for an international show. So I'm not understanding his whole thing about privacy, but he continues to sign up for a television show. So Jovi then brings up how Yara has hidden all this stuff from him. He says, you hid from me that you really wanted to live in Europe. You hid from me that you're looking for an apartment in Europe, and you hid from me that you're on birth control. So Yara starts crying, and she's like, I don't understand, Jovi. Instead of like looking at my accomplishments, okay, the whole thing about getting an apartment in Europe, instead of you being impressed that I can afford an apartment in Europe, that I've been successful enough to save enough money to even buy an apartment in Europe, you want to get mad at me. And I'm thinking, Yara, your husband does have the right to be upset with you, because, you have this, you were like hiding this desire to go leave, if we're going to believe this, because I felt for the okie doke with these people, in the regular season. I felt hook, line, and sinker that Yara really was trying to leave Jovi behind his back and set up shop in Europe and start living by herself in Europe. I really fell for it. But Yara, you think that he doesn't have the right to be upset that you were secretly planning to go live in Europe and you didn't want to tell him because you're too scared to, because he's going to get mad. He's going to get mad. He's going to get mad. So you don't want to tell him that you were looking for an apartment, you were saving money for an apartment in Europe, and then you expect him to not be upset about it. Like, I'm not understanding. So she's like, well, you should concentrate more on my accomplishments. You should give me accolades and compliments and acknowledge the fact that I'm a successful businesswoman and da 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 da. Okay, he's like, yeah, I'm impressed by that. I see how you've been moving, and I see how you've been, crushing your goals. And yeah, I see all of that. So then it kind of winds down a little bit. And after dinner, it looks like they were going to go back to their room together. But he grabbed the bottle of wine. She went one direction and he went the other direction. And so she's like, aren't you coming back with me to the room? He's like, no, I'm going to go take a walk. Well, taking a walk, he took a walk right to the damn bar with his bottle of wine. So let's put a pin in that, and we'll get back to Yara and Jovi a little bit later. Ed and Liz. So Ed tells Liz, when they get back into the room, he tells Liz that she got what she deserved from Angela. She says, Angela, you got your butt handed by Angela, and you deserved it because you didn't defend me. He doesn't understand how couples work, because I feel like when you are a couple, okay, and a third party is threatening your partner, okay, it is your duty as that person's partner to defend your spouse, your fiance, your boyfriend, your girl. It is your duty to protect them and to stand up for them and to defend them as you're, getting damn near attacked by this third person. You don't congratulate that third person for attacking your girlfriend. But that's exactly what Ed did. He was like, you got your butt handed to you by Angela. Angela really gave it to you and you deserved it. And I'm just looking at this man like, this guy is awful. Why are these women fighting so hard to be with him? And he treats them like this. He wasn't the best boyfriend to Rose. He's an awful boyfriend to Liz. And these women are going to retreats and doing all kinds of stuff to stick with this man, to stay with this man. So he says in his confessional, on the one hand, I'm happy that Angela did what she did to Liz. Really? That she nearly killed her? That she nearly put hands on her? You're happy about that? He says he's happy about that, but at the same time, he's not happy about it because Liz is his girlfriend. How could you be conflicted about this woman attacking your girlfriend? How can you be conflicted? And then attacking her over something that's so nonsensical. Now, Ed feels like Liz should have stood up for him in the hot tub when Kelly was attacking him. I didn't see Kelly attacking him anywhere. Even Liz was like, yeah, even though Kelly, was coming after you, I didn't see Kelly as coming after Ed at all. For him to say, you got one more time to call me a bitch, I didn't see that as Kelly coming at Ed. Ed was the one that was, calling him names and acting a damn fool and talking over him. I didn't see Kelly attacking him or acting like he was going to attack him at all. Let's all go to bed. They wake up the next morning. So let's start off with Yara and Jovi the next day. So we see the I guess you could say like the hidden cameras that are in their rooms, because it wasn't like it wasn't a crew in their room. We're just watching the footage from I'm not going to say hidden cameras. I know that they know the cameras are there, from the surveillance cameras, I guess, of their rooms. So it's the next morning. Yara and Jovi are having an argument because Yara is upset that Jovi had gone drinking the night before with Angela, and then they decided to take their little two-person party back to Jovi and Yara's room, and Yara was asleep. And so it's 2:00 in the morning. Here comes drunk Jovi and drunk Angela, making a whole bunch of noise, waking up Yara on purpose. They were trying to get her to wake up so she can party with them or whatever. Then Angela's out on the patio with her boombox, Yara said, and playing the music really, really loud. And it was just very disrespectful. And Jovi was like, well, He probably did this because he wanted to get back at Yara for, hiding the fact that she was taking birth control this whole entire time, and also for exposing this in front of everybody else. So this was his way of getting back at her. Yara says she admitted that what she did was wrong, taking the birth control behind his back, but what he did was just plain disrespectful and rude. And Yara also tells Jovi that he probably needs help. I'm assuming she means for his drinking. The whole entire time that I've seen Yara and Jovi on 90 Day Fiance, it seems like to me, I don't know, I don't want to. Jovi to me seems like he drinks more than a lot of other people on the show. Okay. He seems to drink a lot. He seems to drink excessively, and there's always these scenes of him going off by himself to drink. So Yara was telling him, and you need help. And I'm assuming she means help with his drinking. I don't know. So then here we have Angela. Angela is meeting up with one of the therapists. One of the therapists wants to have a one-on-one with her because it got back to the therapist that Angela and Jovi were running amok at the resort. Not only were they keeping Yara up, but other people at the resort must have complained as well. So she wanted to get to the bottom of why Angela acts like this and what happened with Liz and etc. And so basically Angela has an anger issue. Her excuse is she felt triggered by Liz because when Liz was lying, I can't even remember what she thought Liz could have been lying about, but when Liz was lying, she felt triggered because it reminded her of Michael lying to her about him cheating. Angela has got the gift of gab. All the stuff that she was saying to the therapist about, I was triggered because of Michael cheating on me. So whenever anybody is lying to me, it takes me back to that dark space that I was out when I found out that my husband was cheating on me. Girl, whatever. She says the things that the therapist wants to hear so the therapist can get off her back and see that, oh, Angela's okay, or Angela understands what her issues are. She's going to address them. I think that's the only reason why Angela was saying this. I think Angela doesn't want to take any accountability. Angela will always be Angela because this is the reason why TLC keeps bringing her back. This is how she feeds her family. This is how she pays her bills, by running amok. TLC does not want to see a calmer, sweeter, more sane Angela. Okay, they want to see crazy, angry, I'm about to whoop your butt Angela. That's what keeps the viewers watching. That's what keeps her checks coming. So Miss Therapist, I don't know what show you think you're on. I don't know if you've seen the history of Angela on this show, but Angela gets paid to act like this. So there's not going to be any changes coming anytime soon. This is how it is. So just enjoy the damn ride. Moving on from there, we have Ed and Liz. So they wake up the next morning, and Liz attempted to explain to Ed that Angela attacking her was unjustified. Angela had no reason to get all up in her face, yelling at her, cussing her out, calling her out of her name. She had no reason to act like that because she didn't do anything. She goes, I wasn't talking to Angela. I didn't address anything to Angela. So I don't know why she came at me like that. So Ed begins to whine more about how Liz did not defend him. It was only Angela defending him. And Liz says, it wasn't even about defending you. You and Kelly were going back and forth about you cheating in the game or whatever the hell it was. And I was just watching y'all talk. I was just watching y'all go back and forth. There was nothing to defend. I mean, he admitted that you cheated. What am I going to defend you on? You were admitting that you cheated in the damn game. So she said that she didn't say anything to Angela. And so as she's talking, Ed interrupts her again. And it frustrates her so much that she just walks away from him. So he's like, yep, there you go again. You're running away. You're running away. Ed, do you not realize that you're pushing people away from me? You're pushing these women away. Anyways, it doesn't even matter. So she goes outside. She calls her mom. She's crying. She's telling her mom how horrible Ed is to her. He won't let her talk. He's being rude. And you can tell the mom does not like Ed at all because the mom was like, well, just give him the cold shoulder. Give him a taste of his own medicine or whatever the hell she was saying. The mom, the way that she was talking about Ed, that mom does not like Ed at all. But she understands that, her daughter wants to stay on the show and continue getting these TLC checks. So after she talks to her mom, Liz comes back into the room to talk to Ed, and she goes, I need you just to listen to me. Don't speak, just listen to me. So she says whatever she has to say. the whole thing about him cheating on the game. She says, when you cheat in the game, you're not helping our relationship. These games are designed to help us. And he was like, it's just a game. It's just a stupid, silly game. It's not going to make or break us. And Liz is like, no, you don't understand. Everything that we do here at the resort is to help our relationship, including the games. We're supposed to rely on each other and trust each other and communicate better. That's what all this stuff is designed for. And so he finally understands. He's like, okay, you know what, Liz, you're right. Yes, I understand now. The games are tools to help us. And he does say to her, I realize that I need to take it more seriously, and I need to listen more, talk less, and we need to work on our trust issues. And that's where the episode ended. So there you have it. Yara and Jovi, I'm still not buying that they have real issues. Ed and Liz, Ed is just here for a check. Angela, by the way, with Angela and the therapist has said something like, oh, and Angela, it must be so hard for you. This is a couples resort or couples retreat, and your half isn't here. It must be so hard for you, Angela. And I'm looking at the therapist like, this is the reason why. This should tell you, Miss Therapist, should tell you that she's just here for entertainment. Okay. The show didn't even take it seriously enough to make sure that they had another couple here to help them. They just decided to bring in Angela because Angela's here for entertainment value. She's not here about fixing her relationship with Michael. Come on now. If it was really all about that, then this would have been done a whole lot differently. Not him showing up, via Zoom or teleconference on the tablet. No. Angela's here for pure entertainment purposes. But anyways, I've said enough about that. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.